Sometimes in life, it feels as if we are walking in circles. We try to change. We promise ourselves, never again. And yet, somehow, we end up in the same place, again and again. Why does this happen? Why do we keep falling into the same patterns, the same mistakes, the same regrets? From the perspective of Stoic wisdom, the answer is not to blame yourself for being weak, but to apply reason to your judgments. The great Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they didn't judge those who struggled. They understood. They saw clearly why we suffer, and more importantly, how we can begin to build our inner citadel. The Stoics taught that the root of our suffering is a failure of reason. A gentle word for not seeing things as they truly are. We don't repeat mistakes because we are bad or broken. We repeat them because our judgments are clouded by emotion. We're living on autopilot, responding to life through old irrational impressions, unaware of the deeper judgments guiding our actions. It's like walking in a dim room. You keep bumping into the same table again and again until one day you decide to turn on the light. This light is reason. When we live without examining our impressions, our mind is easily swept away by anger, fear, or desire. But with reason, we start to notice the roots of our actions. Why did I get so angry? Why did I go back to that situation? What is truly within my control? That moment of questioning is powerful. It is the first glimpse of clarity. As the Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If we keep feeding the same irrational judgments, the same insecurities, they grow stronger. But if we start nurturing virtue, courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, even with the smallest insights, our mind begins to shift. We begin to see more clearly and respond with reason instead of impulse. Another reason we repeat mistakes is our attachment to things outside our control. The Stoics called these indifference. Not just people or objects, but feelings, approval, reputation. We chase what feels good in the short term, even when we know it doesn't serve us in the long run. Sometimes we return to harmful habits or people, not because we love the pain, but because we fear the unknown. The familiar, even when it wounds us, can feel safer than the unfamiliar virtue we've never experienced. Imagine someone who keeps returning to an unhealthy relationship. It's not because they don't know better. It's because they're attached to an idea of love they once hoped for. This is the trap of faulty judgment. It clouds our reason and binds us to suffering. The philosopher Seneca gently reminded us, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. Freedom begins the moment we realize that not everything we want is truly good for us. When we stop being attached to outcomes, even just a little, we create space for clarity, for resilience, and for peace. The third reason is subtler, but very powerful. Habit. Our character is formed by deep patterns of past thoughts, words, and actions. This is the momentum of our choices. Each time we react the same way, with anger, avoidance, or self-blame, we strengthen a groove in the mind. And when we're tired, stressed, or unaware, the mind takes the path of least resistance. That's why we often say, "I didn't even think. I just did it again." It's not failure. It's just habit taking over. But your character is not fate. It is flexible. It responds to reason, to intention, to even the smallest effort to change. As the Stoics taught, drop by drop, a life of virtue is built. Even a single breath taken with intention, even one kind word or a small pause before reacting, that matters. Every drop adds up, and over time, Those little choices reshape our entire path. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply learning to apply reason. Mistakes are not a sign of your unworthiness. They are an opportunity to practice virtue, to look deeper, to love yourself more gently, to walk with more light. The Stoics didn't ask us to be perfect. They asked us to be aware, to observe, to choose wisely, and to begin again when we fall. So if today you find yourself in a familiar place, pause, breathe. You are not starting over. You are starting from wisdom, and with each conscious breath, each mindful choice, you are planting seeds of peace, of clarity, of freedom. As Seneca wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. If this message brought you peace, I invite you to stay on this journey with us. Subscribe, reflect, and return whenever your heart needs a moment of stillness.